Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Calling It in the Ring podcast. I'm your host, Craig Wyman, here today once again with my co-host, Tom. Tom, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Going on pretty good, man. Just gonna watch some retro NXT from 2014. So it's this certainly the show and the product has come a long way since then. So it'll be interesting to take a trip back and relive the 5 years ago NXT.
Yeah, and the first time NXT was on the poll for us, and NXT is now 1-0 on the poll. Like Tom had mentioned, we're watching a 2014 version, December 4th, 2014, 5-year anniversary of this show right here. So we're going to definitely see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of young faces. And just reading the description, plenty of faces that aren't even there anymore, haven't been in WWE for a while. But again, the poll was on our Twitter at OnTheFly101 is where we post our polls. Tom, I don't know if it was as we give you guys time to cue it up there on the network. I don't know if it was just striking hot with us with the whole NXT theme from this past week, Survivor Series weekend and TakeOver and all that stuff, or if people really just want to watch NXT. But I'm happy either way, man. I'm sure. Was this what you were hoping for as well in the poll?
It was actually, yeah. I mean, NXT was obviously strictly on the network at this time, just a 1 hour show. And I didn't even have a network subscription at this time. I didn't sign up until 2015 because I was still upset about the whole CM Punk thing. So I didn't actually buy the network till it was like available probably over a year, I believe. But yeah, I was real happy with the results, and I'm anxious to take a look back. And this would be actually my first time viewing it because, like I said, I wasn't a subscriber at this time.
Yeah, I think I was a subscriber, but I still wasn't in the loop on the whole NXT thing. Obviously, I've come to know pretty much everybody on this card. I think most wrestling fans have. But at first, at this time in 2014, the network was still kind of new to me, and I know probably a lot of people. And NXT was the same way, man. I didn't really get into NXT until maybe like a year, maybe even 2 years after this. So I missed like the first, few big events for NXT, the first few NXT champions and all that stuff. So I think I'm on the same board with you. I don't think I really ever watched this episode. I mean, I'm sure I know what happens at the takeovers and all that, but yeah, I think I'm with you on that one, man. I don't think I really ever watched this episode.
Yeah, one of my buddies is a big NXT fan, and he has been a fan right from the start. And he's like saying, "Man, you got to check this out. It's been really, really good." And I think the first NXT show I watched was the pay-per-view in August of 15 at the SummerSlam weekend, the infamous Banks and Bailey match where they had where Bailey won the title there, and obviously one of the best women's matches of all time, arguably. And I think Enzo and Cass were on that show when they were still in NXT, and Finn Balor and Kevin Owens and the whole gang there.
All right, guys. Well, Tom, if you're ready, I'm ready. Probably been ready since the poll finished a few days ago on our Twitter, but I'm definitely ready now. Again, guys, December 4th, 2014, regular NXT episode, 47 minutes long. I'm zeroed out. Tom, if you're zeroed out, we'll give him a countdown and get this thing rolling, man.
Let's go.
All right, guys. So we're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, play. And here we go with a familiar WWE Open, but not the current one, obviously. They just recently changed their Open not a few months ago.
They did. I like this opening, though. It was a good opening.
Yeah, the old, well, I guess you could say old now, the then, now, and forever slogan. And here we go with some more vintage film here with some more current stuff with the Daniel Bryan stuff there at the end. Tyler Breeze, Sami Zayn, Tyson Kidd,
Wow.
Neville. I mean, Hideo Itami, Charlotte. Oh man, Sasha Banks and Bayley still here as well. I mean, this is crazy that this was only 5 years ago. Of course, there in the old Full Sail University, still in Orlando, Florida. Man, this was only 5 years ago. Looking at some of those guys, it felt like 10 or 15 years ago that
Sure
they were at
does.
this age.
Sure does. I completely agree with that.
And
Yeah, I
here
don't know if
we
you
go.
saw Charlotte right from the start. I don't know if you saw that or not, but they're signed on through Full Sail through like end of March or something like that. So they're going to be locked in there for a few more months yet.
Yeah, I think they're trying to keep that small arena feel because I think they could obviously go off and sell. As we get a preview here, NXT Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks. They look like two different people in that picture. And like I said, it's only 5 years ago. That NXT Women's title isn't here anymore. This version of Charlotte doesn't seem to be here anymore. But yeah, I think they're keeping them, or they're at least trying to keep that small arena feel. Like I said, because I think they could obviously go out and sell out, big arenas.
Yeah, I think it keeps the cost down too, So
Dude, is that Mia Yim?
Sure they like that. Sure looks like her.
I think it says Yim on the back of her trunks there too. I'm trying to read the damn captions, but of course they're putting over Charlotte. Obviously, we just saw the big promo there for her versus Sasha, and this is actually the go home show for Takeover, which I didn't realize until I looked at the NXT, chronologically, and right after this is a Takeover.
Okay.
As
And they
there's
were
a
doing the
natural selection.
takeovers. Yeah, they're doing the takeovers in the middle of the week, I believe, weren't they? I don't think they were piggybacking off of the WWE main roster pay-per-views yet, I don't believe.
No, I think it's actually on our new poll. It's actually a week after this, December 11th. So it's run as
Okay.
a regular, episode of NXT, just with the the title matches and the takeover slogan. As man, Charlotte Flair squashing Mia Yim there.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see Mia Yim on this.
Less than a minute. Yeah, here comes Bank.
And now Sasha out here with Flair's shirt on, with the boss taped over the Flair on the back. Not really sure. Do it like a boss, I guess it says on the back. I don't really know. But
I think both Banks and Charlotte look better back then than they do now. I just do. Look like they're both in better shape, and obviously they're 5 years younger, but I think they both look better back then.
yeah, I haven't seen that Charlotte with those abs in seems like probably since here, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they both look better back then. Better, both are in much better shape. Banks is only 22 at this point, so she's still just kind of starting out. I don't believe she wins the title though at the pay-per-view. I believe she wins it like they did a pay-per-view in February where she wins it at.
Yeah, and you see holding up that NXT title, it kind of looks like the design of AEW title that their women title has now. Definitely different from the NXT one, but here comes Bayley on a crutch, and
yeah,
what a group of women we have here. We just saw these two
on SmackDown.
Yep, last night with the SmackDown Women's title around Bayley's shoulder, but here 5 years earlier she's on a crutch, and Sasha kicks it out and kicks her in the injured, braced up knee. Charlotte runs up the ring to save her friend. And there you go. Sasha Banks hauls ass into the back. And just getting more heat on Sasha there for this takeover title match.
Now Charlotte's picking her up, and where's she going to go? Taking her down the ramp, throwing her in the ring.
So there's a lot of A lot of network stuff too. You notice there's a WWE Network sign in almost every camera shot. I just see it right there and right there, and there's one on the top of the entranceway. So, like you were saying, as the old Paul Heyman guy shirt in the front, that's a classic shirt. But I just see the big WWE Network thing right there. Sasha holds the belt over Charlotte and does a version of her little hip toss thing she does.
Nice. I think Banks works much better as a heel, and clearly back then.
I think they all do. Really, I think maybe you can make the case for Becky, as the man thing that she's doing now. But and here we go, face to face, Sami Zayn and Neville.
He was Adrian Neville at this point, I believe.
Yeah, and he was also 17 years old, as you see in that picture. And Sami Zayn was still the same age. As we're getting a promo here for the award-winning Larry the Cable Guy and Santino Marella movie. Classic Christmas movie right here. But, I don't know. I think you could kind of make the line where Becky draws the line on if she's a heel or a baby face or whatever she is. But, her beside, I think Bayley, I've seen it now, and then obviously Sasha and Charlotte work way better as heels. And here's a ad for the Vaudevillains. This is my favorite tag team in NXT, man.
I did too. Mine too. Yeah, mine too. Yeah, I was talking about that SummerSlam takeover at SummerSlam at 15. The Vaudevillains won the tag titles on that show against Blake and Murphy. That match was on that show as well. That was like one of my favorite pay-per-views ever, actually. But yeah, I like the gimmick. I think Aiden English is still doing commentary, I believe. And, of course, Simon Gotch is out of the company.
But, I think these two really, they really made the gimmick work. They're true tag team wrestlers. It made you believe that they were a tag team with these videos and vignettes or whatever you want to call them. And I don't know. I always liked it when they would come out and the screen would turn black and white like you're seeing now. And, the old music.
Yeah.
The old, even in the movesets here, even like this, they're like tying shoelaces together, just like old, like simple, corny stuff that they would do. But it worked.
It did. It was very well done. I was a big fan of this gimmick as well.
As it's just, I guess they're making fun of there's the old NXT tag belts that I really like that they got rid of as well. Now they all look the fucking same if you ask me, but I don't even know who I think it's like the Lucha House Party, or I really don't know who they're feuding with.
I think this was before Lucha House Party, I believe. I did see the two guys in the masks, though, so I'm not sure. Here comes Blake and Murphy, I believe. Or is it just Buddy Murphy? Yeah, it's Blake and Murphy. Well, these guys didn't even have the titles yet.
And no Alexa Bliss either, unfortunately.
No.
But she obviously gets incorporated into them, and there you go, NXT Takeover Revolution next week, 8 Eastern, only on the network. So, not before a Royal Rumble or a Survivor Series, just right in the middle of December. But they're pulling out all the stops, as we've already seen Charlotte and Sasha advertised, and a face-off between Sami Zayn and Neville for the NXT title. So
yeah, it's crazy. Wesley Blake is still pretty much in the same spot now than he was back then. He's still doing the tag. He's in the Forgotten Sons, I think is the his name of his tag team. But yeah, still doing the same gimmick. Of course, Buddy Murphy's up on the main roster. Come the Vaudevillains now.
Yeah, I never knew. I always thought it was cool how they did this entrance with the announcer guy. Kind of like a carnival or a circus or something.
Throwback to the old, throwback to the old vaudevillain days back in the 30s and 40s. But yeah, very, very well done. This was Regal's brainchild, from what I heard. The whole vaudevillains gimmick and such. And I think William Regal has a great mind for the business.
Here we go with another takeover.
Oh
Lucha
yeah,
Dragons. Okay. So I
you're
think that's
right.
Kalisto and Sin Cara, I think.
I think you're right.
I don't think they were quite the Lucha House Party or whatever quite yet. But even this holding the ropes open for Aiden English it's just such. And everything they did was just about the gimmick. They were never really out of character or never broke the kayfabe. I guess some would say. I just see the fans getting over there, a little Simon Gotch pose, and even the mustaches, dude, with the little curls on the end.
Throwback, yeah. Yeah, they really got into the gimmick. They're very detailed, which I really like.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the two that got me into it. Blake and Murphy as well, I guess. They weren't I wasn't as crazy about them, but they were still solid, I think, as a tag team.
Yeah. Obviously, Buddy Murphy sporting the longer hair back in those days.
Yeah, I wonder if they're ever going to try something to break off Blake by himself, because it obviously worked out pretty good for Buddy Murphy, and they're not really doing anything of note with the Forgotten Sons, which I thought they would have by now. I don't know what's really going on with them. I think they were in that tag team Survivor Series match, actually, weren't they? And
They were. Yes, they
eliminated.
were. They were indeed.
But other than that, they had Jason Riker as like the big, singles guy, I thought, and then had Murphy and the other guy with the, going to be fighting for the tag belts or whatever. But I thought it was going to be a pretty big faction, but I guess not. Not yet, anyway. You never know at NXT. You guys pop up in and out all the time, I guess.
Matt wrestling there by the Vaudevillains, good tag in and out, and Aiden English did all right when they had him paired up with Rusev for a while, and then he kind of dropped off the earth there, and then he was doing the announcing, and you don't see too much of him anymore.
Well, no, I mean, I would argue that, and I love Rusev, of course, but I would argue that Aiden English was a major reason why that Rusev Day thing got over as much as it did.
Absolutely. Definitely agree with that.
The singing and the announcing before Rusev's music would even hit. Just basically being his mouthpiece for him, I guess you would call it. But they were actually a tag team a little bit there too.
Yes. Yeah, I think Rusev, when he has somebody with him, his gimmick gets way over more. When he was with Lana, when they were doing she had the Russian accent and stuff. I thought that worked really well. And then, as you said there, as you alluded to, the Aiden English with the singing and do the hill entrance and the Rusev Day chants, and yeah, very well done.
Get a you don't see this a lot anymore either with all the. So far, we've seen Charlotte and Sasha get into it, and now the Vaudevillains, who are challenging for the tag titles next week on the Takeover, still in tag team action here. You don't see that a lot, or usually anyway, on the NXT. Before takeovers, guys kind of take it easy or do different weird segments or whatever. They don't really see everybody in action like it was, but
Right.
it's a different time. They're still trying to push the network out as a thing and really build NXT to be what it is today. Obviously, they're still in the very early stages of that right here. So pulling out all the stops.
Good tag team wrestling here going on. Breakup by Gotch on the pin and backdrop over the top rope onto Wesley Blake. Got Gotch over the top rope. Now Aiden English coming after
blind
Cody.
tap there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the uppercut into a swinging neck breaker.
Pin attempt. 2, 3. Got the 3. What? Didn't realize that was the finisher.
Yeah, I believe I just saw a nickname was the Whirling Dervish.
Okay.
So there you go. But there you go. Your number one contenders for the tag team championships are victorious a week ahead of their tag title match.
You know, Aiden English is married to Eddie's daughter, right?
Whose daughter?
Eddie Guerrero's daughter.
Oh, really?
Yes, indeed. We see the general manager of NXT, William Regal, and Tyler Breeze.
This is when Tyler Breeze was a major solo superstar.
Tyson Kidd.
Yeah, I miss Tyson Kidd. I think he was hurt from Samoa Joe, wasn't he, on the Muscle Buster?
Indeed. Indeed it was. Yeah, I was trying to think what year that was. 16?
Yeah, it wasn't too long after this, actually, because, well, I know he had that stuff with Cesaro. Weren't him and Cesaro like a tag or something with Natalia?
They were, yeah. Yeah.
Here we go with another Baron Corbin. There's Neville with the NXT title. I mean, pretty much a main roster full of guys now that you see on Raw and SmackDown, besides Finn, but obviously he had his run on the main roster.
Sami Zayn. This is before Kevin Owens was there, I believe.
Oh, yeah, it had to be, because Kevin Owens would have definitely been featured somewhere on the show by now. Oh, well,
there he is.
There you go. I was about 5 seconds too early before Kevin Owens made his appearance.
Yeah.
Here we go. Live next Thursday, 8 o'clock. Not going to catch a takeover on a Thursday night anymore. I'll tell you that much.
No.
But
I wouldn't mind it, actually, to kind of change things up every once in a while. I wouldn't mind it. I know when they were doing them on Wednesdays and that for a while, too. And I don't know, because sometimes you get overloaded in the weekends. I mean, especially this past weekend when we had the AEW and NXT, and then Friday, the SmackDown, and then the TakeOver Saturday, then the pay-per-view, then Raw. It's a lot of wrestling.
yeah, it definitely is. As I just love watching these old commercials, old WWE shop stuff. Just a side note, I don't know if you've seen the new Bray Wyatt title on
I did.
WWEshop.com.
I did.
$6,500.
Yeah.
It's like a few mortgage payments, man. I don't know if I can invest that into anything really besides a house.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Apparently they are limited, so I don't know how limited. And they also made sure to throw in the note that they cannot guarantee delivery by Christmas.
Oh, man. Another squash match here?
So,
it is. Another squash. Jumping off the top rope. Is that Bull Dempsey?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was I don't know why, but I thought it was somebody else.
Kind of reminds me of Black Bart. I remember Black Bart or not. Same look, same trunk, same black tights there, and flying headbutt. I'm not sure who that.
Yeah, I didn't see who it was he even wrestled. We
Yeah,
obviously saw Mia Yim in the opener against Charlotte Flair, but I couldn't make out who that was. Uh,
that was really quick. We're fading to black here. Who's coming out?
oh, here comes
Baron Corbin?
yeah, the old entrance with the spotlights, kind of trail of spotlights out to the entranceway that he used to do.
Yeah, it is Corbin.
Probably gonna have a little stare down with Bull here after that squash match since Bull's still on the ramp.
Another guy that looks way better back then than he does now. Baron Corbin. Much better look back then.
Yeah, I think this was probably my favorite version of Baron Corbin. I still like him, but I just haven't liked him as much, I guess I should say, on the main roster. As Corey Graves has a special announcement on the pre-show next week.
Maybe he's announced done, yeah. I wonder if Graves ever tried to pass a physical and see if he can get back wrestling again, or if he's just content with doing announcing. Seems like when they cleared Mr. Danielson there, they would have opened the door up. Another quick end of days there. Yep, already over. That was
I really
quick.
want to know who that guy is, man. Damn it. Yeah, of course, Baron Corbin, former NFL player and legit, Golden Gloves boxing champion and, all that. But what I like about Baron Corbin is um, he's a pro wrestler, man. He doesn't go in there. He doesn't try to box people or, you know, talk about how he was an NFL lineman. I think he's really transformed into a.
I agree.
Look at this announced team. Holy
Oh
shit.
my God. Rich Brennan, Alex Riley, and Mr. Bloom.
Oh, gosh.
Must have been before he was the head trainer.
Or maybe
Adrian
still.
Neville. Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn.
Face to face tonight. Something's fixing to pop off there. As we also get Finn Balor and Hideo Itami versus Tyler Breeze and Tyson Kidd with Natalya on the outside.
Crazy. She must have just come down to support her husband. She wasn't a regular at this time. They're doing a Kevin Owens promo here. Maybe he hasn't appeared yet. Maybe he's just you see some old stuff with them.
There's Seth Rollins winning Money in the Bank. Tag team with Daniel Bryan. And of course, they're going to show Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30, one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. Neville here. Pretty much detailing how Kevin Owens has been waiting. I believe it said 14 years to get to the WWE. There's Cena raising Neville's hand. That's a weird sight. Then we got Sami Zayn here, of course. Kevin Owens' real life best friend. Sort of like the Ciampa and Gargano relationship there before.
Very good analogy. Yeah, very good analogy. Both of them kind of grew up in the business together and broke in together and were tag partners, were rivals, all that good stuff. He must be debuting next week.
Yeah, so he's going to debut at the TakeOver. I would assume he's going to get involved in that Sami Zayn Neville match. But to find out, hopefully we get enough votes on the poll to review that next week, man.
I'd be for that.
That would be a hell of a 2 weeks of shows here. Go home show for a takeover and then the actual takeover. Probably not going to be able to do that again where they're both a week apart from each other, you know?
Right.
as Tyler Breeze walks down, taking a selfie video of himself.
It's pretty cool. They had the camera and the phone there, putting it up on the Titantron. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, on the list of most misused guys from NXT, where would Tyler Breeze rank for the main roster?
I think he's got to rank up at the top, or near the top anyway. So, in my opinion, I think the Breezango thing was pretty decent, but as far as giving him any kind of singles push, yeah, I just don't think he was used very well at all. But he's not alone. There's a list of quite a few of them. There's Natty.
Only one I could argue. Even Natty looks like 40 pounds lighter here. I guess when you just go, I guess it's like natural though. Like, college players get to the pros and you get a big paycheck, or, you're Charlotte Flair and you have, 10 title reigns in 5 years. It's hard to maintain the 8-pack abs that you had in NXT.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still their job, though. I mean, I realize they're on the road a lot more. It's tougher to maintain, but it's still their job. The day with Tommy, guy, that's not in WWE at all anymore. He was just still new at this point. Because didn't he come in with Balor and Owens and Sami Zayn kind of more in that group?
Yeah, I think if Tyler Breeze was on the top of that list, I think Hideo Itami would be right behind him on the misused list of the main roster.
I think Itami, when he got hurt, really hurt him, though. No pun intended. I think when he was injured there for a while, I think he kind of was off the radar. But I agree, though, he wasn't used very well either.
I can't really think of two more guys that had such a takeover. We're getting Finn Balor and Itami in a tag team again against the Ascension. Still, I believe I'll have to check. Probably Undisputed Era's probably beat it by now, but I think the longest reigning tag team champions. They had it for 364 days, I believe. The Ascension. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you're correct.
Like I said, I'm sure the Undisputed has it beaten now because they've had 2 or 3 title reigns, but
right.
I think the Ascension still has the longest, consecutive title reign.
Yes.
As we see Finn Balor here, no leather jacket, no demon paint.
Nothing.
Kind of just doing a fucking little somersault, and here we go. Totally different entrance.
Can't tell. Can't tell if he still has the same music or not because I got the volume turned all the way down. I'm guessing he doesn't because nobody's standing up with their arms in the air. So.
Yeah, and he's not even doing it. You've seen him put his arms out to the side. He might be doing it here as he climbs to the top turnbuckle, but no, he's just gonna stand up on top of it, I guess.
Did you follow him at all when he was Prince Devitt in Japan?
No, I didn't really watch Japan. It's hard for me to keep up with Japan, honestly, especially with AEW now.
Yeah, I haven't watched New Japan since AEW came on either, but I was following it for a while there, and really good wrestling over there, no doubt.
Well,
just hard to keep up. Hard to keep up with everything.
I had signed up for their subscription and everything to watch because theirs is only like $9 a month too. That NJPW World, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
For the G1 Climax, and that shit was really good. They had Moxley in there. When like I said, it was before AEW actually went on TV. Of course, the guys like Juice Robinson and Okada, and fucking a million guys. Jay White,
Tanahashi.
So many
great roster. Naito, great roster they have. Yeah,
so many good guys, but it's just like I said. Once AEW started, I was like, man, I can't fucking get invested into this shit. And then it's on at like 3 a.m. or 1 a.m. or all kind of weird hours. Which sucks because I do like the product, and I've heard I actually want to go back and watch some of the stuff from Finn Balor and even AJ and
AJ Styles. Kenny Omega, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I always wanted to go back and watch. I just never had the damn time.
Tyler Breeze coming in the ring there against Tommy. Yeah, Tommy's back there in Japan Wrestling now, back under his old name, Kenta.
Yeah, actually, he was in the G1 too. Actually, yeah, he had just come back, and
Right.
that was like his big return announcement. He came back and announced his entry into the G1. Yeah, I was watching that a little bit, and then I canceled shortly after. But it sucks, man. You got this whole list, not list, but you got these four guys in the ring, and four of them combined, I believe, have one day as a heavyweight champion on the main roster, and that's Finn Balor.
Right.
One day, Tom.
Yeah, I remember they won the Universal title at SummerSlam and then got injured the next night on Raw against Seth Rollins, if I remember correctly.
Yep, Seth Rollins wants to do a buckle bomb, but he decided to do it into a barricade on the outside instead of a turnbuckle, and there you go.
Just some kind of Cena promo here. Something.
Looks like a video game.
Oh, yeah, there's Bray. Sorrow. The Hulkster.
This was probably the last game Hogan was in besides the new one.
Yeah, Roman Reigns, a very young Roman Reigns there.
Cena, yeah, because I think Cena was on the cover of this one. The 2K.
Right, what, 2K15?
Yeah, I think that was the one Cena's on the cover of. The Ultimate Warrior,
Yep,
actually.
Sure was.
Yeah, so it is unfortunate. Hideo Itami never really got out of that cruiserweight stigma.
Right.
Obviously, Tyler Breeze, Tyson Kidd with the injury, and Finn Balor one day as a heavyweight champion, and now he's back in NXT. So who knows if he'll ever even be a Universal Champion again or a WWE Champion again on the main roster anyway. But, at this point, I guess it doesn't really, it's not really a difference. Like we talked about with the Survivor Series, NXT beating up Raw and SmackDown, and you got guys on NXT that could be world champions anywhere. And topic has come up of including NXT title as a world title, in that classification.
Easily. I think, like I said, I think Adam Cole is one of the best workers they have. And it'll be interesting to see what happens when his contract comes up next summer. See if he sticks around or what goes on, if he's still in NXT or main roster or makes a jump to AEW. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, of course, here I want to say, damn, I think Finn was the only one to win the NXT title here too, wasn't he? I don't think Hideo Itami ever won it.
No. Yeah, Finn had it twice, I believe. He won it from Owens and, gosh, I want to say Samoa Joe beat him and then Finn beat him back. I can't remember. I remember the one time they switched the NXT title on a house show, like when Joe beat Balor, maybe the first time.
Yeah, it was somewhere in Massachusetts, I want to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, like Worcester or something like that. Yes.
Yeah, I think so, I mean, if you want to classify it as that, I guess you could say Finn Balor has actually had a plethora of days as a heavyweight champion. If you want to classify the NXT title or however you want to do it, but it's just weird to see these four guys in the ring and one day as a heavyweight champion on Raw or SmackDown. Crazy to think about, seeing where they were here in 2014, and this was before even Finn. Like we just mentioned, he wasn't the Demon or he wasn't the the Balor Club, leather jacket wearing guy, but still obviously a very bright future for all four of these guys. At least people thought at this time.
Well, Tyson Kidd had the tag titles on the main roster with David Hart Smith was his legitimate cousin. That would have been years before this, though. Never really got back to that.
Well, he won it with Cesaro, I think, didn't he? I thought him and Cesaro had the world tag team titles at one point.
They may have. I don't recall for sure. I know Cesaro had it with Sheamus several times. I don't remember if
well, that was when he won it with Sheamus. Then that's when Mick Foley gave them the Raw tag belts, and then they made the SmackDown Live belts, whatever.
Right.
Tyler Breeze and Hideo Itami both get the hot tags. Here comes Hideo and hot.
Bunch of kicks. Boy, Breeze is selling those like crazy. Nice drop kick there. Nice.
Oh, Tyson Kidd eats a knee to his stomach. Yeah, I think I don't know. I like Hideo Itami. I guess some people always meant better off just, some guys just aren't WWE guys, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, you look at guys like Cody or obviously Hideo Itami in Japan. Some guys just work better not under the WWE, as Finn hits a coup de grace to the back of Tyler Breeze's neck. But, I don't think it's a bad thing. Not to be a quote-unquote WWE guy.
Yeah, I agree. There's certain guys just don't work their style and just doesn't work out.
Today, Tommy and Finn Balor get a win a week before their showdown with the Ascension. So you actually have two tag team matches next week on that takeover, which both should be highly entertaining. Look at the height that Finn gets on that. Coup de grace to the back of Tyler Breeze's head for the finish, and now Finn's going to pick up the mic and cut a promo on the Ascension, I assume. And he's advertising bringing something you've never seen before, and I do not know if that's the Demon or not, but it might be.
Guess I have to wait and find out. Yeah, I don't remember.
People got that guy has an Ascension shirt on, man. People forget. We're talking about Hideo Itami and Tyler Breeze being misused, but the Ascension, man, you go from 364-day tag title reign to like
jobbers.
Not even jobbers, man. Just like off fucking TV. They actually made some appearances in that Fashion Police stuff, which was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It wasn't their gimmick though. It's like it wasn't. You got these guys with like war paint on and shoulder pads or whatever they're wearing. Goofing around in the back with donuts with the Fashion Police. It just was I think that's the definition of misuse. Might have been the Ascension.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
Some people would even argue Neville or Sami Zayn, but I don't think so, man. I think they were used really good. You had Neville doing that King of the Cruiserweight stuff as I'm pretty sure this is the same video package they just played about 20 minutes ago, but
yeah.
Nonetheless, they're hyping up the TakeOver Revolution next Thursday here exclusively on WWE Network. Go buy the network for $9.99 a month. No free subscriptions just yet. We need $9.99 a month. As Neville's coming out in a suit here. Okay. A nice little NXT title draped over the shoulder. But I would argue Neville, he had the whole King of the Cruiserweights thing. He kind of, put 205 Live kind of more in the spotlight, I think, anyway. I know I watched a lot of 205 Live just to see Neville sometimes. and when they were featured on Raw and all that stuff when they first started out. And how about this ad for Talk is Jericho?
Wow.
Featuring Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn. So 2 AEW guys. Actually, the AEW champion now. Yep. And Sami Zayn going to be on Talk is Jericho. There you go.
I used to listen to that every week. I don't listen to it too much anymore, but pretty religious with it for a while. He had some pretty good guests on. Now we got Neville cutting a promo, I'm sure, about Sami Zayn with the NXT title draped over his right shoulder. And
what do you think of that NXT title, man? You kind of upset they got rid of it, or?
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of obnoxious with that big X in the middle, but I don't know. I like the new one too. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like the new titles, like I mentioned before, they all kind of look the same to me.
Look the same, yeah.
Like these ones were obviously very distinctive. You had the fat, leather strap with the big ass X cutting through the middle. The women's belt was like silver and purple or pink, whatever color you want to do, and the tag titles were completely different as well. At this time anyway. But I don't know. You can obviously see it's a lot more strapped than actual, gold or whatever it is in the middle. But it still stands out, I think. I didn't hate the belt, but I do think I like the new one better.
Some yes chants going on in the background there. Yeah.
Yeah, as we saw earlier, WrestleMania 30 has happened already here, so Daniel Bryan is about as hot can get, especially at this time in 2014 where not many superstars were getting that hot around this time.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I like the belts that stand out more. They don't look the same. I'm with you on that. Still Neville cutting this long promo here, and I'm sure any time's going to interrupt it as they always do.
And again, this has been billed as a face-to-face, not necessarily a contract signing. So no table, no William Regal, no nothing here. Just Neville. Now he is dressed in a suit, so obviously not dressed to fight. As Sami Zayn comes down in a t-shirt and jeans.
Newspaper delivery hat on, and his signature hat. Obviously, Sammy's the baby face here.
With the In Zayn shirt with the SZ on the back. Pretty cool design there.
Yeah. Were you a fan of the El Generico character when he was in Ring of Honor?
I never watched a match of Ring of Honor in my life.
Okay. Gotcha.
Which also sucks because, obviously I hear about stuff him and Kevin Steen at the time were doing, or, obviously every promotion has their big thing, whether it's that or it's TNA with the Broken Hardy gimmick or the, early AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle stuff, or, there's always good wrestling there, Tom. If you want to find it, you can find it. It's not all on Raw or SmackDown. But
oh yeah, I was a big fan of the Ring of Honor stuff from like 2005 to 2012, roughly. They some good stuff there. A lot of the WWE guys, top stars, were all there. Rollins and Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe, Zayn, Steen, you name it, they were all there. Cesaro. Going back and forth here in some verbal jousting with Neville and Sami Zayn, or Adrian Neville at this point.
Yeah, just building up the title match there for next week at the Takeover Revolution. Kind of hope that wins the poll now because I want to see how all these matches turn out. If not, I'm gonna go probably watch it on my own.
Yeah, Neville's got the handshake extending, and Sami Zayn is reluctant to shake his hand.
Sami Zayn promo is always good. I think the first Sami Zayn match that really got me hooked was his match against Nakamura. I forget what takeover it was. He slaps him.
That would have been the takeover Dallas prior to WrestleMania 32 weekend.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first matches I actually sat and watched and was like, well, that's match of the year. It's settled. In my mind, it was anyway. And like you said, that was in like April, before the WrestleMania. So we were only barely 4 months into the year. And in my mind, it was over.
Yeah, they did win match of the year, if I remember right. So, yeah. Sami Zayn runs off, and Neville standing inside the ring and getting ready to go off the air here. Sami Zayn at the top of the entrance ramp as they fade to black.
That's going to be it, Tom. What do you think? Go home show here. Like I said, I didn't realize it putting it on the poll, but going through the chronicles, I guess you'd say, of NXT, this was a go home show for a takeover, man. What'd you think of them setting up the next episode of NXT there?
I think the show flew by. I mean, and I think they hit all the bullet points for all of the angles heading into the pay-per-view with all the big matches, and whether it was in ring or promo wise or whatnot, I thought they did very well. So
yeah, I think they like I said, they got a lot of the guys. They didn't see the tag champions, of course, but you seen all the number one contenders. You see all the Neville in the end of the show, Charlotte, the women's champion, in the beginning of the show. Like you said, it flew by a quick show. I believe it was 47, 48 minutes on the network, so not even an hour, and they got a lot of stuff in. That's what I like about maybe not NXT so much now that it's on national network TV, whatever it's called. But back in these days when it was on a network, man, they stuffed everything they could into those 45 minutes, 50 minutes every week, and I think that contributed to it being so popular.
I agree. Less is more, as they say, and yeah, you had the Barons Corbin and Bull Dempsey squash matches there, which were probably less than 30 seconds, and even the Charlotte match was less than a minute. So yeah, they seemed to give everybody on the show, limited time they were given. So,
well, that's all the time we have for you guys today. 53 minutes, not bad. Another quick show, and kind of like these formats, give people a break. Hopefully, you guys are caught up, or at least still trying to catch up from that long Survivor Series episode and our first ECW Hardcore TV episode last week, and now this week we knock out our first NXT episode. And again, we have our poll up for our December, what would it be, 11th episode. Got another NXT up there, some Raw, some SmackDown stuff. Try to put some more current stuff up on there. But I think the earliest we go back is like 2006 on this poll, if I'm not mistaken. But again, at On the Fly 101 on Twitter, just search Calling It in the Ring. Tom, you got anything left to say on this episode, man?
Nope. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. And Tom Scully, TomSkulley on Twitter, Calling It in the Ring on Twitter, On the Fly 101. And thanks again for tuning in. We'll see everybody next week.
Thank you, guys. Make sure you enjoy all the wrestling this week. We know we will.